Tuscaloosa to frenzy.
Firing. Touchdown, Alabama.
SEC champions, Alabama, Crimson Tide.
We talked about Alabama.
Step back three. Money. And the Alabama Crimson Tide will roll into the Final Four.
Roll Tide!
Roll Tide and welcome to Tide TV This Week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Paige Riley. And Paige, it's great to have you back on the show this week. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Roger. I'm excited to be back, and it was a great weekend in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Certainly was for the Crimson Tide, as Alabama was back at home this past Saturday under the lights as the Crimson Tide hosted the South Florida Bulls.
It was a rematch of last year. I know a lot of fans were excited for, anxious for, but luckily this time there was no rain and Alabama was able to get some momentum to pull away at the end.
Jalen Milroe had a pair of rushing touchdowns to give the Crimson Tide a 14-6 lead at halftime, but South Florida would make it a one-point game in the third at 14-13. That set up a 16-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe to Kobe Prentice. That put the Crimson Tide back in front by 8.
After South Florida's third field goal of the game, Alabama finished strong, scoring the final 21 points of the game. Also, Ryan Williams got his third touchdown of his career to make it 28-16 Bama. Then Jam Miller and Justice Haynes, they each had long touchdown runs to finish off the scoring. It was a close game a majority of the time, Roger, but the Tide finished strong with 28 fourth quarter points to roll to the 42-16 win.
Defense did a nice job forcing some field goals. And you know, just as we went through the game there in the fourth quarter, I think those were key, you know. So us scoring touchdowns and finishing drives, other than the fumble, which was certainly unfortunate. Again, a lot of things we need to clean up. Guys got to do a better job when they make a big play. You got to tuck it away. All the things we work on, all the things we discuss, going to be, you know, a lot to learn from. And so excited about the challenge, the opportunity, because that's what this is. And I think you need games like this, and you know, this isn't a wake-up call or nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's just, you know, just keep raising the standard. I think this game last year was an important one, you know, that propelled them last year, and it'll probably be the same thing this year. You know, that's my hope.
And in that 42-16 win, Tim Keenan was named the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. Keenan finished with a career-high 9 tackles, including 2.5 tackles for loss and 1.5 sacks.
Big game for Tim Keenan and the Crimson Tide defense. It was also a big game for the Alabama offense once again.
Yeah, the offense, they scored 6 touchdowns, including 3 explosive scores in the fourth quarter from 43, 56, and 29 yards.
Our Christopher England caught up with one of the stars from the offensive side of the ball for this week's First Off the Field, and he joins us now from the Hank Crisp Indoor Facility.
I'm Christopher England with TideTV, and we're here inside the Hank Crisp Indoor Practice Facility, fresh off the practice field with tight end C.J. Dupree. C.J., how was practice out there today?
It was a great day. You know, tough Tuesday. You know, that's our work day, full pads, everything. You know, a lot of hitting, some good on good periods. So, you know, just be able to get out there, get a good work day, and start introducing Wisconsin, and you know, getting a look from our scouts against them is awesome.
A big win on Saturday night. It was tough there for about most of the game, but that final 6-7 minutes, you really took control, dominated, and pulled away. Just kind of talk about the difference right there at the end where you took control of the game.
Yeah, like you said, you know, I mean, football is a hard sport. You know, it's a tough sport, especially at our level we play at. So a win's a win. You know, it was ugly, you know, but at the end we came out with a win. I mean, yeah, we put up some big points there at the end, which was awesome. So, I mean, I think the end, which you guys kind of just got a glare of what Bama can do without Bama beating Bama. You know, a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers, a lot of misassignments. So, you know, when you beat yourself as a team, you know, I mean, there's not really much we could do. So, you know, we put things together. We got our mojo going right there, and then we started putting up what we can really do and show people what we could do.
Let's talk about this offense and the potential it has. You know, there's been flashes of huge plays, and you had some big pass plays, some big run plays there in that game. Just kind of talk about the potential of this offense and kind of your role in it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely pride ourselves on the offense for being ball dominant, details, and explosive. So, you know, we have a lot of explosive players. You know, the receiving core is super tough. Our running backs can break anything they want. Obviously, Jalen's a great player in the run and pass game. You know, our O-line, you know, we had some penalties and stuff. I include myself in the O-line, kind of the sixth man off the bench like basketball. So, you know, we had our troubles up there. I mean, we fixed them. So, you know, I think we're really explosive. We can just do that. And ball dominance, you know, like you said, we had a couple turnovers. So, you know, like I said, we already emphasized that, but just, you know, like looking at the small things, what little things can help, and then it'll help the big things.
You played in the Big Ten before you came here to Alabama with Maryland. You've played at Wisconsin before. Just kind of talk about that and have some guys from the team maybe asked you about playing there since they know you have experience.
You know, it's a tough team. You know, they're tough. They pride themselves on being tough guys. They play hard, physical. No matter you go up 21 points, you go up 28 points, they're going to be tough. They're going to hit you in the face. So, you know, just being able to make sure we can do that, keep our composure, and, you know, play our ball will be fun.
I appreciate it, CJ. Good luck and roll Tide.
Appreciate it.
For CJ Dupree, I'm Christopher England, and that's it for First Off the Field.
Thank you, Christopher. And you know, Paige, it was a really special night here in Tuscaloosa with the official dedication of Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, Roger, it was a very special night. Also a little bit emotional to end the Saban era, but we have an all-access look for you guys of Coach Saban and Miss Terry for the dedication of Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Thank each and every one of you for coming here today. It means so much to us. The past 17 years haven't felt like work. Rather, it has felt like teamwork.
So I can't thank you enough for being here today. I can't thank you enough for the support that you've given us in good times and in bad. And we want to continue to make Alabama one of the outstanding football programs in the country, but also one of the outstanding athletic programs in the country, because I think it's the window that people look at this great university and the impact that we were able to have by having a successful program has elevated our university, and I'm proud of the fact that we were able to contribute to do that in so many ways. So thank you very much, and roll Tide.
The power of your voice elevated a program, a state. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, welcome to Saban Field.
It's my honor to welcome you to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the home of the greatest program in college football history, the greatest fans in college football history, and the home of the 2 greatest coaches in the history of college football. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to welcome one of those gentlemen, Coach Nick Saban.
Thank you so much. I hope that this field being honored in our name is representative of how we represented you, the University of Alabama, but also that it represents all the players who played here and contributed to the success of the program, and all the coaches who worked to help those players be successful, and our administration, Greg, Dr. Bell, but most importantly, Mal Moore and Dr. Witt, who gave us the opportunity to come to the University of Alabama, and you, the fans, who've given us some of the greatest memories anybody could ever imagine by being your coach for 17 years in the greatest traditional program ever in America when it comes to football. We thank you so much. God bless you, and roll Tide.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Championship teams have something special. They have that it factor. It will be tough. We will be explosive. The game was meant to be played one way still, and that's to be physical. A brotherhood that is so tight that anything that comes our way will not break us. Winning SEC championships, winning national championships. That's the expectation. In the history of the program, it's second to none.
We'll have 100,000 people on hand.
This place is rocking right now at Bryant-Denny.
And the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
The standard is Alabama.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. It was a huge night for the Alabama Crimson Tide football program. The second win of the Kalen DeBoer era and the dedication of Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Let's take an all-access look at the Tide's win over South Florida.
Of fourth-ranked Alabama and the South Florida Bulls, two teams that are 1-0 after the initial week of the college football season, meeting here in week number 2.
The greatest venues in all of sports is honoring the greatest college coach of all time. This football cathedral, Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Set the tone! Set the tone! Run and hit! And hit! And hit! All night! All night!
Opportunity, attack the ball, attack the ball, attack the ball, attack. Dominate it from A to Z. Okay? Be on your best.
Saban Field from the north end zone, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alabama football. But he goes absolutely nowhere. Tim Keenan with the tackle. With time on the slant, that was denied. It was Campbell getting in there. Over the middle, he gets it complete. As Bernard makes up for it, utilizing the speed, the blocks, and into the end zone goes Jalen Milroe. He is sacked. Brought down by Q Robinson.
I better get you one. I better get you one.
Easy pitch and catch with Prentice and a first down. A lot of traffic, but he breaks free. Jalen Milroe. And look at that push up the middle by Tim Keenan. Drives the ball complete inside the 5 and into the end zone. Goes Kobe Prentice. Milroe gets it out quickly. Goes to Williams. Ryan Williams. Look at this kid. 17 years old and on top of the world. As he goes past midfield, cuts back inside the 20, keeps his balance and seals it. Jam Miller.
It back, stays on his feet. Haynes at the 10, Haynes at the 5, Haynes into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama, 29 yards.
So again, we protected our house. Okay, we are 1-0 on Saban Field. Right, we're 1-0 on Saban Field.
Tide TV This Week is presented by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide, the University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Crimson Tide of Alabama.
The standard is Alabama. The standard is Alabama.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. We just showed you guys an all-access highlights for the Tide's win over South Florida, and now it's time to turn our attention to this weekend's matchup against Wisconsin.
Alabama travels to Madison, Wisconsin to take on the Badgers. For a preview of this weekend's game, our Christopher England joins us once again.
Alabama travels to Madison, Wisconsin for the first time in almost 100 years. The fourth-ranked Crimson Tide will make their first road trip of the Kalen DeBoer era on Saturday as the Tide takes on the Wisconsin Badgers. This will be just the third meeting in series history, with Wisconsin winning the first matchup 15-0 back in 1928 at Camp Randall. But in that other matchup in 2015, third-ranked Alabama took on number 20 Wisconsin at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Running back Derrick Henry had a career day, rushing 13 times for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Tide rolled over the Badgers 35-17. Alabama would go on to win their 16th national championship with a win over Clemson at the end of the season. This will be Wisconsin's third consecutive game at Camp Randall to open the season as the Badgers enter the matchup 2-0. Wisconsin opened the season against Western Michigan in Week 1, and the Broncos took the lead in the opening minute of the fourth quarter 14-13, but the Badgers scored 14 unanswered points to secure the 28-14 win. In week 2, South Dakota pulled to within 4 at 17-13 midway through the third quarter, but the Badgers defense shut down the Coyotes offense the rest of the way as they pulled away for the 27-13 win. Luke Fickell is in his second season as head coach of the Wisconsin program. Fickell has faced the Crimson Tide only once, a 27-6 win for Alabama over Cincinnati in the 2021 college football playoffs. Leading the Wisconsin offense is transfer quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. The 2021 ACC Rookie of the Year transfer from Miami has completed over 60% of his passes and has thrown for 406 yards with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. The Badgers have 2 100-yard rushers this season, with Ches Malusi leading the way with 3 rushing touchdowns. On defense, the Badgers haven't allowed a passing touchdown this season and is giving up just 127 yards through the air per game.
You know, it's going to be a great atmosphere up there, and it's one that I think when you're preparing to go play those games, and we'll of course have that many times here with the SEC schedule too. You know, that hostile environment, taking it on and knowing that, it's kind of you versus everyone there. So I think our guys are looking forward to the challenge. They're looking forward to, improving on this last week and knowing that we're going to have to in order to face and get a win versus Wisconsin on Saturday.
It should be a beautiful day in Madison for the game. The forecast for the 11 o'clock kickoff is mostly cloudy and 76 degrees. The battle between the Crimson Tide and Badgers will be broadcast on Fox, and the Fox Big Noon Kickoff Show will also be in Madison for the game. That starts at 9 a.m. Central. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
Championship teams have something special. They have that it factor. It will be tough. We will be explosive. The game was meant to be played one way still, and that's to be physical. A brotherhood that is so tight that anything that comes our way will not break us. Winning SEC championships, winning national championships. That's expectation. In the history of the program, it's second to none.
100,000 people on hand.
This place is rocking right now and right now.
And the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
The standard is Alabama.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Riley. He's Roger Hoover, and this is Tide TV this weekend. After a couple of home matches for the Alabama soccer team, they headed north for a big-time performance.
Yeah, those matches were against a couple of Big Ten teams. The first was against Purdue this past Thursday night.
It's behind great performances from Alabama goalie Coralie Lellier. The Crimson Tide would need just 1 goal for the win, and they got that from Leah Cundy in the 25th minute. Cundy kicked the ball over the Boilermakers goalie into the back of the net for the game winner. That would be all Alabama needed as the Tide improved to 6-1 with the 1-0 win.
After that win over Purdue, the Crimson Tide stayed in the Big Ten as they took on Michigan and Ann Arbor. It would be another 1-0 score, but this time the Tide was on the losing end. With that, Alabama falls to 6-2 on the year with both of those losses coming on the road. But Westhardt's squad is a perfect 3-0 here at home.
And another team that hit the road this past weekend was Alabama volleyball. Rashinda Reed's squad made the trip to the state capitol for the ASU Collegiate Cup. In the first match in Montgomery on Thursday, Alabama swept Prairie View A&M in 3 sets, and for the victory, freshman Ellery Reese led the Tide with 10 kills.
Match number 2 on Friday, Alabama defeated tournament host Alabama State. The Hornets won the first set, but the Crimson Tide won 3 in a row for the 3-1 win. Alabama had 4 players with 10+ kills, led by Paris Thompson with a match-high 14.
Alabama would fall to the undefeated Arizona after splitting the first 2 sets. The Wildcats won the final 2 sets, 25-21 for the win.
With their first loss of the season, the Tide's record sits at 5-1. This weekend, Alabama travels to San Antonio for the Roadrunner Classic.
And the 16th ranked Alabama men's golf team was also in action as they took part in the Folds of Honor Collegiate hosted by Michigan State.
In Grand Harbor, Michigan, the Crimson Tide led at the end of every day of the 3-day tournament. Alabama finished 12 under par, 7 strokes better than second place Illinois. The Crimson Tide had 3 golfers finish in the top 8, led by Dominic Clemens, who won medalist honors, finishing 9 under par, 1 better than Tommy Morrison from Texas.
Roger, what a start for the season for the 16th ranked Crimson Tide. And you know, they're continuously getting better because they have a new advantage that no one else has.
That's right, Paige. The Alabama men's and women's golf team now calls Crimson Reserve their home. It's the best practice facility, not really just in college golf, but maybe the best in the entire world.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful new home, Roger. And let's take a look at the Tide's newest addition, Crimson Reserve.
Pretty cool, isn't it? That we're all here today. A lot of hard work by a lot of people here to make this become a reality. This is a separator. How do you separate yourself from your competition, right? The decisions you make as an individual, what you do to develop yourself, how do you separate yourself? Because this is competition in our world and what we do. This is a separator for our golf program. So this is really, really exciting. Do not take this for granted, and it's going to lead to great things today. It's going to lead to great things in our future as well. So congratulations to everybody, and let's celebrate this thing.
Insane, literally insane. Immediate thought, it's amazing.
Even outside is so pretty, it's so good. I knew it was going to be good, but like, this is wow.
Being a part of this team, I am able to practice here, and that's something that is an honor and something that, you know, honestly, you got to pinch yourself a little bit because it's like, wow, I'm so thankful to be here.
Tide of Alabama.
The standard is Alabama. The standard is Alabama.
Milroe, design quarterback run, utilizing the speed, the blocks, and into the end zone goes Jalen Milroe. Milroe gets it out quickly, goes to Williams. Ryan Williams. Look at this kid, 17 years old and on top of the world. Miller, as he goes past midfield, cuts back. Inside the 20, keeps his balance and seals it.
Milroe will hand it off to Justice Haynes, going right side, cuts it back, stays on his feet. Haynes at the 10, Haynes at the 5, Haynes into the end zone, touchdown, Alabama.
Those were our ATI Plays of the Week.
And Roger, great time players, huge performances, and let's take a look at some of ours in this week's Players of the Week brought to you by Legacy of Hope.
We'll start with soccer. Leah Cundy scored the only goal in the Crimson Tide's 1-0 win over Purdue. It was her first goal of the year.
And Jam Miller, he averaged 9 yards per rush as he led the Crimson Tide offense with 140 yards rushing. The big play came on this 56-yard touchdown run, which is the second of his year.
And Tim Keenan III led the Crimson Tide with 2.5 sacks and 1.5 tackles for a loss. Keenan totaled 9 tackles, and he also earned SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week honors, the first of his career.
And Dominic Clemens earned medalist honors in Alabama's win at the Folds of Honor Collegiate in Grand Haven, Michigan. The Cambridge, England native won top honors in his first ever tournament playing for the Crimson Tide.
Congratulations to all of our Players of the Week, brought to you by Legacy of Hope.
We hope you enjoyed the show and join us here again next week for another episode of Tide TV This Week.
See you next week, everyone. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.